Give Maisa Meihaincha of your money as well. Kabed es Hashem Meihaincha. What's the lashon kabed? So the Yerushalmi says that's for Aniyim. The Gra and Mishlei explains Mechabdai Chaynein Evyain. We find the lashon of Mechabed Hashem to give money to poor people. The Yerushalmi holds what's Meiser Kesef, Meiser Aniyim. That's the sheet of the Yerushalmi. However, the Medrash Tanchuma has a different makar. And this is the makar that most of us are familiar with, the pasuk Aser Taser es Tavua Zaracha. State in Yerushalmi, in the Medrash, Aser b'shvil shetisasher. Give Maisa money so you should get rich. Everyone says it over. Actually, it's the second part, which people don't say over. It says, Aser b'shvil shalai tischaser. One place says, give Maisa money, you should get rich. Then it says, you should know, give Maisa money, shalai tichaser, that you shouldn't lose your money. It's like an admonition from the other side that you better give Maisa money. But Al Kapadim, it says, Aser, that's a makar for Meiser money. Aser b'shvil shetisasher. That pasuk is in Perak Yudalit pasuk Chav Beis in Devarim. That's talking about Meiser Sheni. Meiser Sheni. That makar for Meiser is Meiser Sheni, and Taisus and Tainis Daf Tesam Be'alef brings it down. Mikan Noagu Mafrishe Yam Lahafrish Echad Me'eser La'im Le'Taira. That to be Yaitzer Meiser Ksafim, according to the Medrash Tanchuma, it has to be to support learning. And the Nitziv explains, a person had Meiser Sheni money, he went to Yerushalayim, so he spent whatever he could. If he had leftovers, the money's worthless outside of Yerushalayim, he would give it to the Laim Dei Torah in Yerushalayim, let them at least use his money to support themselves. So according to the Medrash Tanchuma, the source for Meiser Ksafim is not Meiser Aniyim, but Meiser Sheni. L'Maisa, which is the Iker, and this is totally in Minig. Meiser, according to many, is only a Minig. Minig yisroel, a Minig brought down in Shulchan Aruch, that we all should keep, but it's not a Chayv in the sense of a Chiyuv D'Oraisa or D'Rabbanan, although some hold it's a Chiyuv D'Rabbanan. So the Nitziv says Minig determines. And since it's brought down a Minig to buy Sfarim with Maisa money, that with Maisa money you can buy Sfarim not to lock up in your house, but you can buy Sfarim that you make available to others for a Kinyan Sfarim in Shul or a Yeshiva. If it's Meiser Aniyim, you can't use Meiser Ani to buy Sfarim. So Akarchach, the Minig is like the Medrash Tanchuma. And the Iker Meiser Sheni is the Iker Meiser Ksafim is to support Laim Dei Torah, as I state in the Nitziv. Some Sefer also has a tshuva in Yeridei Simon Reish Lamed Beis. He brings all as well some interesting rayas to this concept from Agadita. It's interesting, we find Meiser by Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, by all three of the others. There's no other mitzvah like that. That we find the mitzvah mentioned by Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. By Avram it says, Vayiten le Maaser Mikael. By Yitzchak it says, Vayimatzei Bayem Ahu Meya Sha'arim. Rashi says, why did he count up his tvua? Rashi says, I made to give Meiser. It was a shutting up. He estimated how much he had to give Meiser. And by Yaakov we have Kol Asher Titin Liyaser Asrenu Lach. We find it by Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Frechtach Sam Sefer. The Rambam says in the 9th parak of Hilchas Malachim, the Rambam traces how Torah developed. He says by Avram, Bris Milah was given. Was Mechadish the mitzvah of Bris Milah. Yitzchak was Mechadish the mitzvah of Meiser. Yaakov was Mechadish the mitzvah of Gir Anashe. Frechtach Sam Sefer. Yitzchak was Mechadish Meiser. Meiser says already by Avram, by Yitin le Maaser Mikael. And Frechtach Sam Sefer. No. Yitzchak gave Meiser from his tvua. That's a mitzvah d'oraisa. Meiser, to give Meiser, it's a mitzvah d'oraisa. That Yitzchak was Mechadish. Avram gave that Meiser, which is a minig Yisroel. Who did he give? He gave it to Shem. Shem wasn't an ani. Vayitin le Maaser Mikael. He gave him support for his yeshiva, the yeshiva of Shem ve'ever. They went around collecting, and they came to Avram. Vayitin le Maaser Mikael. He gave him his Meiser money to the yeshiva of Shem ve'ever. So he says that the source for the Meiser, for Meiser money, is from Avram and Yaakov, and that is Meiser la'im le'Torah to people who learn. Yaakov as well, he brings, the Das HaKenim says that they asked Yaakov, you gave Ma'aser from everything, what about from your children? He answered, for my children I gave Levi to Ma'aser. He didn't give Levi to Aniyim, he gave Levi to Torah. So Zakti, Chasam Sofer, these are sources that it's Ma'aser Ksafim is a concept of Ma'aser for what? La'in Le Torah. The people who support learning. The Chasam Sofer says to help them with other mitzvahs as well. But the Ikar Ma'aser is La'in Le Torah. The Chasam Sofer brings others who hold that Ma'aser is Ma'aser Aniyim, just like the Nitziv. So we have two sources for Ma'aser. One, that the concept of Ma'aser is based on Ma'aser Ksafim. And one, or rather Ma'aser Ksafim is based on Ma'aser Sheni. And one that it's based on Ma'aser Ani. So I asked Rav Palm, I don't understand. If I'm nayig to give Ma'aser, so let's say I'm nayig either Ma'aser Sheni or Ma'aser Ani, but that would preclude many tzedakahs. There are tzedakahs today which are not technically supporting Oim Le Torah, people who sit and learn, and not supporting poor people. That's a worthy, very worthy tzedakahs. I'm afraid to mention any by name. I don't want to get any complaints this week. But I asked them, l'chayri, not yaitz mitzvahs ma'aser, with these other worthy tzedakahs that do great things. I say they're makar v'chaykim. If it's a yeshiva, it's like Torah. But it's not kir v'chaykim to help with other frumkeit things. That l'chayri doesn't fit into ma'aser. How can we be yaitz ma'aser? So Rav Palm told me that the Chafetz Chaim writes in Avos Chesed that when someone starts to give ma'aser, he should do it b'li neder. The ikar is it's a minig. And if he starts from the beginning to give his ma'aser to other causes as well, so he's talking not Mekayim the Medrash Tanchuma, but he's Mekayim ma'aser on whatever level he's Makabel on himself. It's not a chasar, because on whatever level he's Makabel, so that's what he's keeping. The whole thing is totally in Kabbalah. Chafetz Chaim says to be Makabel it b'tanai, so he can make a tanai, I want to give to other tzedakahs as well. But the Ikar tzedakah is Oim Le Torah, which is what Shlomo was saying here. Why dafka tamidei chachamim? Because the Ikar support is La'in Le Torah. And it's an important lesson here. My lesson here is not to make an appeal for you to give money to my favorite charity, but just the opposite. If we say that the Ikar Ma'aser is Ma'aser Sheni, and the main Ma'aser Sheni is what? For you to support others who are learning? No. The Ikar Ma'aser Sheni is for you to learn. The Nitziv writes in that Shuvah, if you have a man as a shayla, he has Ma'aser money. What he could do is save up his Ma'aser money every year. It's 10% of his earnings. And every 10th year, or 11th year, he can take a year off from work and sit and learn. So what should he do? Should he give his Ma'aser money to support others who learn? Or he should take 10% every year, and after 10 years, take a year sabbatical, and support himself and learn. So the Nitziv says that Avada, that's 100% the right thing to do. The Ikar Ma'aser Sheni is to improve your life with Limud HaTorah. To put more limud, more learning into your own life. And certainly, someone has Ma'aser money, and when it comes to his own learning, he has a hard time learning. So what should he do? He should hire a tutor for himself. Get someone to tutor him in learning. That money can come from Ma'aser money. There's no question. The Tziv says whatever you need to support your own learning, that can come from Ma'aser money. So why do you have to give it to someone else to learn? The Ikar is really your Ma'aser money you should spend on yourself for learning. Anything that helps you learn, that's what Ma'aser money is for. To help yourself in learning. Now, you can't learn yourself. A Yid has Ma'aser Sheni money, he has a big farm, he's running a big business. No, so he takes in $1 million a year, $100,000 Ma'aser Sheni money. No, I don't know how much a person is capable of eating in one day, although I've seen quite surprising chidushim. But he takes $100,000 to Yerushalayim that can only spend on food. Most people in the 3 weeks of Aliyah L'Regel would have a very difficult time. So what? So you take the money and you give it to other people. Really, you should stay a whole year and eat in Yerushalayim and learn. You're not going to do it, you give other people to learn. The same thing, you have a business, You make a certain amount of money, you take off a tenth for Ma'aser Sheni, for Ma'aser Ksafim. You give it to others to learn. And this throws a whole different picture on supporting someone who's learning. Till now, the other guy, he's the schnorrer. Unfortunate guy, he's sitting and learning. What are you going to do? Some people, that's their goal in life, they sit and learn. So someone has to go schnorring for them. So you're the chashiv of alabas, the wealthy man, you sit in your office, and they come into you, and you give them a few dollars, they should sit and learn. That's the wrong hergish. Really, you have Ma'aser money, you're supposed to sit and learn with it. Now you're desperate. Ma'aser Sheni, you're not allowed to throw it away, you're not allowed to be ma'abed. So you take your Ma'aser Sheni money, what are you going to do with it? You have to find someone to take it. If all the yeshivas would say we have enough money, we close our doors, not taking any more donations, you'd be in a lot of trouble. You'd be in a lot of trouble. What are you going to do with all your Ma'aser Sheni money?